All right, hello class. Name's Cam. I'm going to be discussing reading 29 today. That's If Men Could Menstruate, written by Gloria Steinem. I feel this was the article that really stood out to me. Before I get into the essay, I'm going to give you a little background information on the author. Her name was Gloria Steinem. I did a little research, and she was an American feminist, journalist, and social and political activist who became nationally recognized as a leader of the feminist movement in the 1960s and early 1970s. Many consider her the foremother of second wave feminism, and she has spent decades traveling, lecturing, writing, editing, and publishing various articles and essays. She was a columnist for uh, the New York Magazine, and she was a founder of the Miss Magazine. One quote of hers that I found to be pretty cool, and it really sums up what she felt, and that was gender is probably the most restricting force in American life. She was very dedicated to the movement, and she was committed to communicating feminism on her own terms to the masses, which was very evident in this essay. One interesting thing I learned about her as well was the fact that she often avoided using academic language in her magazine and in her writing because she perceived it as unnecessary wordiness and obscure language. She sought to destroy societal based gender inequity by dismantling arguments predicated on biology and long-standing cultural myths, and she used humorous role reversal strategies, which is also evident in this essay, among others, to do so. The essay was written in 1978, which coincides with, I believe, the tail end of the second wave of feminism. Uh, I found it to be very entertaining and thought-provoking because of its valid ridiculing of gender stereotypes. Steinem starts her article off by addressing familiar power stereotypes like being white or male, and she points out how illogical and ridiculous they are. Steinem then presents the question, what would happen if suddenly, magically, men could menstruate and women could not? To show that countless ways that men would use menstruating as a sign of power. Steinem's creative ideas of how life would be different if men could menstruate brought up funny, but in my opinion, potentially realistic points of how menstruating could be used as yet another piece of evidence of how men are better and more capable than women in all ways, in religious ceremonies, in the sensing of time and space, in politics, in war, and in physical activity, etc. Although Steinem is sarcastically and wittily funny in her article, she her message is one that addresses the serious problem of gender stereotypes. Uh, Most people, including myself, blindly accept gender and other stereotypes without really questioning the basis. And through this article, although some may feel it's a little extreme, Steinem encourages her audience to analyze the stereotypes that dominate society. In my opinion, though written in 1978, this article still remains an important piece of feminist prose because it addresses a universal problem faced by all women. The topic of menstruation is not context bound, and it certainly does not go out of fashion. It addresses a physiological process that will be around just as long as there are women. While many critics feel that the topic of menstruation um, is a little in your face, I feel that the use of menstruation helped to ensure broad readership of women because it served as a common ground despite uh, ideological differences. Steinem avoided polarizing her audience who may identify with one particular strand of feminism by appealing to her readers as women in general. Uh, this brings me to my set of questions. In the essay, she uses humor throughout the whole essay. She used a lot of humor. It's pretty funny. To poke fun at men, kind of overtly. All her jokes are centered around men. Do you feel that her approach perpetuates the stereotype that feminists are man haters? My second question, do you agree or disagree with Steiner's argument that if men could menstruate, it would not be as taboo as it is now, but instead celebrated as a milestone and or bragging rights? Uh, Third question, why do you feel or what do you feel are the disadvantages and advantages of this essay? Is this essay still relevant today? Fourth question, do you agree with Steinem that men would take advantage of something as simple as menstruating to use it as evidence of power? All right, thank you. Have a good day.